A temple that started a war. It sounds like a paradox. A place of worship becoming the epicenter of a modern conflict. But this isn't a story from a forgotten age. This is a 21st century battle fought with artillery and automatic rifles, fueled by nationalist fervor. This is the story of Thailand versus Cambodia. It begins here, at the edge of a cliff, on a razor-thin border drawn not by nature, but by history and power. Here, one ancient sanctuary, Preah Vihear, lit the fuse on a firefight. To understand the conflict, you must understand the prize. A 900-year-old Khmer temple, a masterpiece perched on a 525-meter cliff in the Dangrek Mountains. One side drops into the Cambodian plains. The other, the main entrance, slopes gently toward Thailand. This geographical quirk is the key to everything. The story of this line begins in the early 20th century, when French colonial cartographers drew a map placing Preah Vihear inside French Cambodia. But the line deviated from the watershed principle agreed upon in treaties with Siam, modern-day Thailand. In 1962, the issue landed at the International Court of Justice. The ICJ ruled the temple itself belonged to Cambodia, because Thailand had failed to object to the French map for 50 years. Case closed? Not quite. The court awarded the temple structure, but never explicitly defined the borderline around it. That gray zone, a mere 4.6 square kilometers, would become a flashpoint. Fast forward to 2008. Cambodia successfully gets the temple listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Pride swells in Phnom Penh. But in Bangkok, nationalist groups frame the listing as a Cambodian land grab. Protesters surge toward the border. The military, under immense pressure, follows. Both sides reinforce their positions. Then, the first shots are fired. Over the next few years, skirmishes escalate from rifles to mortars and finally to heavy artillery. Homes burn, villagers flee, and the ancient stones of Preah Vihear take shrapnel. In 2011, with shells still falling, Cambodia returned to the ICJ. The court ordered both sides to pull back their troops and create a demilitarized zone. The fighting stopped. Finally, in 2013, the ICJ clarified its 1962 ruling. The entire promontory of Preah Vihear, the land necessary for access, belongs to Cambodia. So what really fueled this fire? How did a map dispute explode into modern warfare? First, geography. The temple sits on a cliff, but the easiest way to get there, to supply it, is from the gentler slope on the Thai side. Controlling the high ground and its access roads created immediate tactical friction. Second, the law. The conflict wasn't just about the temple, but the land around it. The 1962 ruling was precise. Cambodia got the building because Thailand had accepted the map for decades, but it left the surrounding border undefined, creating a legal vacuum. Third, politics. The 2008 UNESCO listing was weaponized by nationalist groups in Thailand. They used social media and rallies to portray it as a loss of sovereignty, turning heritage into a political tool to mobilize voters and destabilize the government. Fourth, military dynamics. With troops positioned just meters apart, the risk of miscalculation was extreme. The escalation from small arms to artillery followed a deadly logic, where each side felt compelled to respond to the other's actions, often with greater force. The human cost was immense. Tens of thousands were displaced. Vibrant cross-border markets, symbols of local cooperation, vanished overnight, devastating communities that had lived and traded together for generations. De-escalation required a clear international message. ASEAN pushed for mediation, while the ICJ's order for a demilitarized zone and its final clear ruling on the promontory removed the ambiguity that fueled the fighting. The story of Preah Vihear is a stark reminder of how quickly history, politics, and pride can turn a place of peace into a battlefield. It shows that in our modern world, the lines on a map can still matter as much as the soldiers on the ground.